Hey everybody. So I wanted to show an update of what I've purchased for my DJI Phantom 3 Standard. So when the Standard comes shipped, it doesn't come with almost anything. You have to really buy either everything off of their DJI's website, or a third party website. I got most of my stuff off of Amazon for a good price, and I have some more stuff coming in today. I have a extra battery coming because you really need to have at least 3 batteries. I bought another battery off of Amazon for $79, so it's like $80 and some change. If you get it off the DJI website, it's going to cost you about 135 to $150. I'm not sure how much it is right now. It keeps on going up and down. They'll probably have a sale and it'll go down a little bit and then it'll go up again. So what I've done was I just went and found me a replacement battery, did some reviews on, watched a few of the reviews and read some of the reviews. That's one thing that some of these companies that make the batteries, they do have people buy them and people do reviews. So what I would tell you to do is to always review what you buy before you buy it. Look at what the other customers say about it when they buy it, and how it works, because you don't want to just blindly buy anything that's not from the exact company, and that gives you a lot of area for having issues that you don't want to have, especially with these lipo batteries. These are 4 cell lipos, and these are very dangerous, and they can be very dangerous if they are not kept correctly. It's in a good temperature, and if you get it cheap Chinese stuff or whatever, you run the risk of having a fire. These lipos are not a toy at all. That's why these are smart batteries. So they know when to shut themselves off, discharge themselves, all kinds of stuff. We'll get into that later. So over here, you can see my transmitter. And what I went ahead and done was what everybody is doing, and that is to go with RG Tech, ARG Tech. A lot of people call it ARG, but it's RG Tech. They made this modification for the antennas so that you can get way more distance. So that's my we call this the vertical antenna. So this is the information for the aircraft to fly. These two here are the Wi-Fi antennas, and what they do is there's these little guys inside the transmitter. These are the original Wi-Fi transmitters, and what they do is they make your video available for you via Wi-Fi. So that's flying it. This is helping you see what the camera is doing. So what they did was they took that part and put it in here, but not actually. This is not what is inside here. This only has a circuit board where it just takes the antenna and puts it, in a sense, here, so it's a wider area. Why they didn't actually put this inside here so that it's even better, I don't know. So what I'm going to do is, and I'm going to do a video on that later, is I'm going to open this up. There's a guy that actually opened this up and actually showed you what's on the inside. It's not this. You would think that it's some kind of variation of this, but it's not. This has a lot more area, and if I'm not 100% sure of what the components are inside this, but I bet you it's some kind of coil and something, probably a IC chip in there. I'm not sure because I don't see anything on the outside. So it probably is an IC chip inside here in some way, or it probably just is a coil, copper coil that might be in here that helps send and receive Wi-Fi. So what I want to do is I want to open this and I want to put this, solder it inside here and see what I get. If I can solder this device glue it into hot glue it into here so it stays on on the board, the PC board. It might give me even more clarity when it comes to my video in distance. The other thing that you have to do if you're starting out with the Phantom series using the standard, what you have to know is if you're in a city where there's a lot of Wi-Fi on those channels that they give you, they only give you 8 channels out of 32. What you should do is get online and find a way. I'll do a video on that too, to open up more channels so that you can find a better channel that actually is clearer than what they actually give you. Because what it does is the transmitter and the the drone itself, the transmitter keeps on cycling through 8 through 20, I think 20. If I'm right, I got it. Don't 100% quote me on that, but I think it's between channel 8 and channel 20 if I'm right. What it does is it goes through those channels in the 2.4 gigahertz spectrum, and the 2.4 gigahertz spectrum is right now is the worst spectrum. 10 years ago it was the best. Now it's the worst because now you have cell phones working off of that, fire department, police department radios, your microwave ovens, and you can go online and actually find out what is on that 2.4 gigahertz spectrum now. 10 years ago, it was clear and everybody loved it for flying because there was nothing else in there. Everything else traditionally for the past like 40 years was running on the megahertz spectrum, and the megahertz spectrum got cluttered up with phones. Back in the day, back in the early 2000s, cell phones started using that even in the 90s, and then as we got more, we had beepers, cell phones, and so everything started cluttering in that. Even house phones that were, wireless house phones started, of course, was in the megahertz as well. So that started getting cluttered up. So what they did, of course, is they went to the next thing, which was gigahertz. When it became more popular and more cost efficient, they started using those in the early 2000s, and oh my God, now it's just cluttered with everything else. Cell phones and everything is on that. So what you should do is you should find a way to get your transmitter. There's a way online, they have it, a whole bunch of people have it up on how to open up the 32. Now, why don't they? I don't know why they don't do this. I don't know why DJI. There's a few things I don't understand about what DJI does, why they do it. Because if they know that they can use all 32 channels in the 2.4 gigahertz spectrum, but they don't. They only give you 8 out of the 32. So what you can do is you can get into the rest of those and see which one is. There's a way to look at the activity in your area. Now, if you're in a city like I am, like New York, I'm in Newark right now. I'm from New York. If you go to New York and try to fly anywhere, well, if you can fly anywhere, because out there the Parks Department won't let you fly in their areas, and the police department, they won't let you fly anywhere else depending on where you are. It's really hard to find a good area to fly in New York City, in Manhattan. Outside of Manhattan, Queens and Brooklyn, it depends on where you're at, but definitely not Manhattan. It's very hard. There's a guy out there named Casey Neistat. He flies a lot of places and in New York City, and he gets away with it somehow. I don't know how he hasn't, got into any real issues. I've seen that he did get into some, but not a lot. But he's able to fly his drones and make his YouTube channel mostly his droning in New York City. So this is my I guess say my loadout for my DJI Phantom 3. Like I said, I'm gonna try to put these inside here. So when you put it on top of here, which those two go here and here. Let me get that shot. One goes here, one goes here. Now you could use this here and here, but a lot of people say that it's better to use this because it's a flatter surface, and of course the PCB board that's in here, um, it's flat. This one is more elongated, and it may, depending on where you are, it may work for you opposed to this, but it's not really designed for Wi-Fi reception. This is more or less made for that, to catch it broadly than to catch it up. This sends a signal out in a 360-degree radius, and this is really supposed to catch and receive it in a direction, in one direction, like you're pointing that straight out. So that's what this is for, and that's why I'm going to I'm going to definitely work on putting this in here to see if I can get better. I'm going to try to put it in here and see if I can get it a better reception on my FPV, which is first person view with the camera. Now, my experience, I have not crashed. I've flown about 70 times now. I did a few good videos. I'm going to be doing more. It's colder outside now. The temperature is dropping, and I don't want to fly in the real cold, windy temperatures and stuff like that with the weather like that, because you run the risk of messing up your battery. You run the risk of getting your drone pushed out away from you with the wind. It's been really windy out here in the Northeast for the past few days. I'm going to probably try to fly today with all of this. Another thing I forgot to mention, I got the propeller prop guards. It comes with this string. It really looks okay to me. I don't really like the idea to have the string because it really makes your drone look a little cheesy, and I don't really like that. I know it is here to help defend against crashes on your props. Your props spin very fast, and that is 100% the reason why they want to keep they try to use this to keep it from crashing into walls. People have crashed these into walls. I would definitely tell you not to fly this in a house. People use these props because if the drone hits the wall, it won't mess up your props. This is too much of a delicate device for you to be playing around with this in your house. And I know people that have probably the Phantom 3 Advanced with the vertical sensors, and the Phantom 4 and the Phantom 4 Pro. Those, you can probably get away with flying it in the house, but I really don't advise, unless you're really a pro and you're doing a specific thing, to fly indoors. If you're doing movie production or you're doing I'm going into that direction, but I wouldn't really want to fly it indoors. It's hard to control. It's not something that you want to do, especially for the Phantom 3 standard. It does not have any of those sensors on it, so you really are trying to keep it from hitting a wall, the ceiling, and other items in your house. People have broken TVs, windows, walls chipped, devices destroyed or messed up, and you had to buy more. I don't think that's a smart idea. I think just flying it outside, where you can fly it outside in a nice open area where you ain't going to crash into something. So this is my loadout. This is how my loadout looks. I got the bands, whatever this is called, teal. I'm guessing this is teal blue or whatever. I got that, like, this pink. It's not red. It's like pink stripe on it, just to give it some dynamic. I put one here, just to make it look good. Just for it to look a little more. I didn't want to put it on all four sides because that just makes it look really tacky and cluttered. I got one on top that it came with one on the top, so I switched it out, put another color on the top so it matches these. Just something good. And another thing I would tell everybody to order before I end this video is I have that coming in sometime this week, is the Phantom 3 Advanced cell phone and tablet holster. And that will go on here where your lanyard goes. And make sure you get yourself a lanyard. I'm just using one that I had laying around in the house from another event. And what you would do is you put that here, and it holds up. And I don't understand. See, now this is what the Phantom 3 standard comes with. This little piece of crap. It's very, very, very flimsy, and it costs like I think 15 to 20 something dollars on their website, on DJI's website, because this thing will break on you. I mean, start to fail on you very fast. It hooks on to the back little metal thing, which is stupid because plastic is not even, this is plastic, very, very soft plastic. So it is not good to hold on to something tightly. And I don't know if you can see, there's like little cracks in it already. You might not be able to see it really good, but yeah, you can probably see this one right here at the bottom. And that's just from having it, trying to tighten it. It can't tighten. So what happens is after a while, it starts to flex too much and then it fails. So I don't know why they did that. It's very weak. It's very weak plastic. It can't hold a tablet. It only is to hold a cell phone. And going with their new series, which was the Phantom 3 after they came out with the Phantom 2 a few years ago, about 3 to 4 years ago. I don't understand why they didn't just say, you know what, people are going to be using this thing more. Our Phantom 2 was very, very popular, which it was. Let's go up and make this a tablet holder, which is very simple. You can buy it and do it yourself, and it's very simple to add on. Why they didn't come with that standard out of the box, I have no idea. This is a disgrace of a device. It doesn't even stay on. It just, after a few times of using it and moving it aside, because you have to move it aside to put it in your bag or whatever, your carrying bag, it just starts to flex too much and it's done. And plastic doesn't retain its shape. Once it's bent out of shape, it is done. It's just like metal over time. And they do have a metal one that's way better, but I'm not going to go with that because I want to hold the tablet. One thing I do have coming in today is the NVIDIA tablet that I just purchased last night. I got overnight delivery, so it's coming in today. It's a kick-ass freaking tablet to use. I bought a tablet for this that's not really good. You got to do a lot of research on what is compatible with your drone. Not every tablet is also good enough to communicate with the Wi-Fi. It may have Wi-Fi that's good for using the device with internet and stuff like that, but some of the internet, sometimes if you buy a cheap one, which I did, it was not, and I'm gonna do a video on that, so I'll let y'all people know which tablet I got, and when I get my tablet in today, I'll do a comparison so you can see the difference in latency between the video, FPV video, and my other tablet and the new one, to show you how good that one is opposed to using the cheap version. Now, some tablets from Apple do not even come with Wi-Fi, and I don't use Apple products. I'm sorry to say, I'm not an Apple guy. I'm gonna say that I am a fanboy of almost anything else but Apple. Apple is not something, and they try to charge you too much for. They charge you an arm and a leg for something I can get for $200, and I can do the same thing plus. The NVIDIA Shield is the tablet that I'm getting, and that one is so much. It's like, that's $199.99. I got it. They took off $50 for me at Amazon because they made a mistake on one of my orders a few days ago. So they took off $50 off of it for me and gave me a $50 gift card that they're going to send to me in the mail just for one mistake. So that thing comes down to almost $100 off. So that's probably $100 tablet now. Out of a 200 and some change tablet. So I'm going with that. It's an awesome tablet. So that's one thing I'm going to do later. I want to show everybody how that works. But I'm going to put that here. Hopefully my thing comes in this week, and I'll be able to show you how it will look better than having this. I'm going to take this off as soon as that thing comes in, and work with that. So this is it.